Hello everybody, I'm Nikaito and welcome to a new video. This time I will tell you guys why famous YouTuber like Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye and so on should play one of the Mana series games and which one of them they should begin to play. First of all, I am normally not a fan of tagging people and telling them what to do, but I know that you guys probably will not watch it, but still I want to give you this advice. Because something on Twitter came at my mind and it was somehow scary? Yeah, more or less. I have seen how many followers Mana Series is having on Twitter. 4,777 last time I have looked. And what about Markiplier? 12.5 million. Wow! Don't get me wrong, you deserved it, and this is amazing. That's why I'm making this video. My goal on this channel is not that I become the most popular person on this planet. No, not the slightest. I just want to show you guys how awesome the Mana series is, and that everyone should at least play one game of the series. And yeah, I would recommend that every YouTuber should at least play one of these games at least one time. Don't get me wrong, you don't need to play it completely through, just test it out, show it on your channel, except you really like the game and want to show more of it. I know you guys need to make money and so on, and you need to do these things which goes viral, but please hear me out. We are more or less in Fortnite generation, is this correct? I cannot understand it, to be honest. I made once a channel on a streaming website which I will not name here and played Fortnite once. It was really scary how many followers I got in a short time, and I really haven't put in any effort. Not like the effort I'm doing here and I'm putting in here. And this scared me. I can't understand it, but well, there came my question for myself. Do I want to become viral of a game which I don't really like? Or do I want to show people really cool stuff, which goes more in the niche direction? And yeah, you know how I have decided. So, you came now that far of this video. That's why I guess you wanna know which one of these games you should eventually play on this channel, right? This is a really hot question. The newest game of the installment for the West is Trials of Mana, which came out with the collection of Mana for the Nintendo Switch. So you get 3 games for the price of 40 euros or $40. Pretty cool, huh? But should you really start with this game? The collection of Mana is probably a good start into the series. Of course it is. The first 3 games are on this collection. But let's look at all 3 games for now. Mystic Quest, or Final Fantasy Adventure in the US, is the first installment of the series. This game is pretty awesome for a Game Boy game, but it aged not so well. Instead, I would recommend you the alternative version, Sword of Mana, for the Game Boy Advance, or the remake, Adventures of Mana for iOS, Android and PlayStation Vita. Secret of Mana is probably one of the most popular games in the West of the series. A full 3-player co-op game with real-time action RPG battles. This game is probably the game where everyone, or the most of you, has started to get into the Mana series. Me too, by the way. This is probably one of the best games to start with, especially when you are a YouTuber and you are connecting with each other. Because you can invite friends to play it together and have much more fun. Because this game is much more fantastic at 3-player co-op. There's also a remake of the game for PS4, PlayStation Vita and Steam, but I would highly recommend to play the original first, because there are some things in a remake which makes it a bit harder to play if you're not so familiar with the ground mechanics of the game. And the last game of the collection of Mana is Trials of Mana. This game is really popular in Japan and came out this year for the first time in the West. I often have Japanese people in my stream because this game is so popular, which is really cool. What can I say about that game? It is different from the other Mana series games. You can choose 3 of 6 characters and the first one will be your main character. So the replay value is high. the gameplay is totally different compared to Secret of Mana. Unfortunately, this game does not have a 3-player co-op, but a 2-player co-op, so you still can play with a friend. This game is having a class system and a status point system, so with each level up you can set the status point, learn new skills, become stronger and so on. Overall there are 42 classes existing in this game if you count the beginner classes too. Which is amazing for a game so old. But I would not recommend to play this as your first Mana game series. Why? If you learn skills and magic, you wanna try them out, right? But many magic spells are not so well thought, and many enemies will punish you if you use skills on them. That can frustrate you very high and could influence you on not playing it anymore. But if you wanna wait, I can tell you that there will be a full remake of Trials of Mana which will come out in April 2020 and will be completely different compared to the original. This will not have a co-op multiplayer, unfortunately, as it seems, but this still looks fantastic. Well, these are the games on the collection of Mana, but what about the other installments of the series? Well, as mentioned before, there is a Game Boy Advance game called Sword of Mana, which is an alternate version of Mystic Quest / Final Fantasy Adventure. Pretty good game if you want a pure Mana game. There are also DS titles existing which I would not recommend you to play. Children of Mana was okay, but this was more like a dungeon crawler. It didn't felt like a real Mana series game, to be honest. And of course Heroes of Mana, which is a Mana series strategy game with touch controls. This game was nothing for me because I am not a fan of strategy games. There's also a PS1 and PS2 game existing. Legend of Mana is the PS1 title which has some interesting mechanics, but I would not recommend it if you don't know that much about RPG terms and the Mana series, and this game could eventually confuse you a bit. Then we got the PS2 title Dawn of Mana. Well, Dawn of Mana is different? Is this the correct word? I don't know. It doesn't really feel like a Mana game anymore. More like a Kingdom Hearts game. I don't know what they did with this game, but this really wasn't something for me. So what game should you show on your YouTube channel now? This totally depends on you. If you're new to the RPG genre and the Mana series, then I would say Secret of Mana is the one for you. And if you like co-op games, then Secret of Mana is it for you too. Trials of Mana is good too, but only if you are aware of the typical RPG terms and if you like to play it with a friend in co-op. And this game will get a remake in April 2020, so it's a good way to show support to this game and the series for showing the newest installment of the game. But for new players, I really recommend Secret of Mana. First the original though, so you experience that in the original way. This is my recommendation. What do you guys think about it? I know you probably don't need it, but I think it would be awesome if a famous YouTuber would push the Mana series a bit because the Mana series really needs it. As I mentioned before, not because of me, but because of the series. The series really needs the support and you guys can really have a huge impact and influence on it. But for now, I only can say thank you everybody so much for watching. I'm the Kaito, please don't forget to subscribe so I can grow. And I would say bye bye and see you soon!